Hello everyone, welcome back to Mom's Church Time. Today we're going to make something really cool, very delicious. For those of you that like eggs, we're going to make some quiche, and we're going to make mini quiche. Why are we making a mini quiche, you ask? Well, we're making mini quiche because there's only 2 people here right now that's going to eat. So we're going to make individual quiche. And today, I'm also not putting meat in these quiche, but here's what we're going to have, and these are the cast of characters you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need some eggs. You're going to need some vegetables, onion, and of course some cheese. We've grated up some fresh cheese on a cutting board. And one of the things that I want to recommend with a quiche is I like to use heavy whipping cream in my eggs and a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. It just adds some like really rich flavor, the cream, and the salt of course is better for you. And just put a little bit of the Himalayan salt. We're going to come back in just a moment and we're going to put all these together. And you're also going to need pie crust. You can make your own if you'd like. Today I'm cheating and I'm making it with the pre-made pie crust. And of course, that's how we roll sometimes. Make it a little easier on Mom. And for my vegetables, I've got asparagus, red and green pepper, and some onion. For the other one, we're going to just put cheese, onion, and pepper, green pepper, because my husband doesn't like all that other stuff, but that's okay. So we're going to make 2 individual quiche. And so what we've got here is we've got a little, I believe it's like a 4-inch pie pan. These are really cute. I've made individual pies with these before. A lot of different things you can do with these, okay? So you can make pot pies, which, you know, back in the day when we grew up, pot pie was the big deal. The frozen ones that you buy now today are awful. They're terrible. So I always make them homemade. And homemade is always best. But, you know, people don't have time like they did years and years ago. But we try to squeeze it in as much as we can because homemade food is obviously better, not only better for you because you know the ingredients that it's going in and everything, but better because it tastes better, it's fresh, etc. So we're going to come back in just a moment once we get everything ready. First step is you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay guys, I want to give you a couple tips. We've got the crust in this bowl. You can see a lot's overhanging when you use the regular pie crust, okay? You're going to just cut that off, and let me get this up here so y'all can see. I'm going to cut that off. Just, you can see what I'm doing there, I hope. And then I'm going to take this pie crust, and I microwaved it because my pie crust was frozen. You don't want it frozen, you want it room temperature. So that's a good tip for you today. And you're going to cut this off. Microwaving it for about 15 seconds is going to do the trick. Because you can see this one, it's all broken up because it's frozen. All broken up. We're going to let that thaw out just a bit, and then we're going to roll it out with the rolling pin. So in the meantime, we're going to get all this ready here. You don't want any holes in the bottom of your crust, unlike some of the pies that you make. You want this to be intact. You don't want any holes. Some people poke holes in the bottom. You don't need to. You want it to hold the egg and all the ingredients you're going to put inside. So there is our first pie crust, and we're going to roll this other one out, and we'll be right back. We've microwaved that frozen dough for about, I put 11 seconds. That should give you enough consistency or the right consistency to roll. We're going to roll it out just because it was frozen and it broke all apart. So you're just going to roll this out. You don't want it too thick now. You don't want all crust. You want this to be an egg pie. That's what a quiche is all about. You've all heard the stories. Real men don't eat quiche. That's not true. Real men do eat quiche because it's delicious. Delicious. Okay? Delicious. All right. I think we've got it where it needs to be. So, let's see if we can get it up now. Put it on that container. Hope you guys can see. We're going to push that down. again, you don't want any holes here, so. And, oh my goodness, okay. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see here. All right. All right, this is gonna be a yummy crust, y'all. All right, so we're gonna cut the edges off just a little bit. You don't wanna cut too far up. You wanna cut where you have some left to crimp the edge. And you could probably, with these 2 pie crusts, it looks like you could make three of these small quiche. Or you could make 2 big quiche, 2 9-inch. All right, we're gonna go ahead and crimp this. There goes the oven. The oven is ready. All right. And we're gonna crimp these edges. And then we're gonna put 5 eggs in a mixing bowl. And I'll be back in just a minute to show you all that, okay? Okay guys, we've got our 2 pie crusts ready. I've got 5 eggs broke ready. Now, I recommend using heavy whipping cream. However, if you don't have heavy whipping cream, you can use evaporated milk as a substitute. You can also use half and half. That's not my favorite, but you can also use milk. So if you don't have either of these, milk is a good substitute and it'll work just fine. We're also going to put in some of this to give it some flavor, not too much. It's pink Himalayan salt. You can get this at Costco. It's got the grinder already built into it. We're just going to grind it like 3 times. That should be enough. And of course, you always want to add pepper, and I'm going to put just a few sprinkles of pepper in there. And then I'm going to eyeball this, but you're going to use about a 1/4 cup to 5 eggs, okay? So about a 1/4 cup. I think it started to freeze. Oh my, okay. All right, there's that. And I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this really well, and I'll be right back. So now I've got the eggs mostly mixed up, or whisked, beaten, however y'all wanna talk about it. And then what we're gonna do, one of my tricks is I add a teaspoon, I just use a regular old spoon, and I put some flour in this mixture. And the reason I do that, it adds the thickness that you want. And it looks like a lot, but it really isn't when you mix it into the eggs. I'm gonna set that back there and mix that flour in. And this gives it will thicken this up a lot nicer. A lot of people don't use this. Some people use cornstarch. I don't recommend that. You can use this. You aren't going to taste it. It just gives it a little bit of thickness. It's like a thickening agent, really. Okay? And you really want to whisk this till it's got nice bubbles on it. Can y'all see the bubbles? All right. See the bubbles? And once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to our pie crusts. Let's put this where y'all can see. We're gonna add it to this one, and then add it to this one. We've got 5 eggs for both crusts. I think we could have maybe used 3 eggs. And I'm using a spatula. I'm one of those people, get it all out. Waste not, want not, okay? Waste not. All right, so there's that one. All right. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some cheese. I have a little bit of leftover cheddar cheese. And you know what? I typically like Swiss cheese and spinach in my quiche, okay? But I don't have any Swiss cheese. I'm using the ingredients that I have on hand. We're gonna go ahead and start adding ingredients. We're just gonna add some cheese, some cheddar cheese to that one. This is all leftover stuff. And I have a grated some additional cheese. So I've got Colby Jack on this side and cheddar on this side. Since I knew we already had cheddar, it's about I would say about a 1/2 cup of cheese. And then we're gonna add Colby Jack Colby Jack. All right, more Colby Jack. And that's about enough cheese, I believe, okay? So there's that. And then next we're gonna add onion. And typically I put these in the ingredients, so I'm just gonna kind of stir it in. Yes, I'm using my fingers, but they're all clean, folks. Just letting you know. All right, just letting you know. All right, so that's only a little bit of onion, maybe not even a quarter of an onion. Okay, and so this one we're gonna add asparagus. I've cut them up small, okay? If you have ever had an asparagus quiche, you'll know it is so good. I'm gonna add some green pepper to that as well, some red pepper. And on this one over here, we're just gonna add peppers, okay? You just wanna toss that in a little bit more, and a little bit more. All right. And I'm just gonna take some Colby Jack and just kind of put a little bit more on top of all these vegetables so it has like a cheese crust. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, it looks good. My goodness. You know, I love quiche, but I don't make it enough because people in my household don't like it. My husband, he's just like likes just plain old regular stuff, like scrambled eggs. That's okay. It's all right. I just like fancy stuff, and I don't get it enough. But I'm not a fancy person. I just like fancy food. Don't get it all the time, but it's good. Now, don't those look pretty already? Oops, I think I need a little more cheese on this one. Go ahead and add a little more cheese. I mean, can't ever go wrong with more cheese, right, guys? No, you cannot. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. And I think they look beautiful already. Look at that. And then we're gonna just add some pepper on top. We've got our oven preheated at 350. And we're gonna put them in the oven, and I'll come back once they're all finished. Y'all will be pleasantly surprised how easy it is to make quiche at home. And it is delicious, I promise. I forgot to mention, the quiche take about 30 to 35 minutes in a 350-degree oven, and that's for the little ones, okay? Those are for the 4-inch. Now, if you have a bigger one, it takes about 35 to 55 minutes, depending on your oven, the heat, etc., and how big your pie pan is. But it typically will take about 30 minutes for these little ones, okay? Hey guys, here are our finished quiche. Don't they look delicious, y'all? Yum, I can't wait to sink my teeth into some of this. Okay, here's the deal. You want to stick a fork in the middle if you're even questioning whether it's done or not. And secondly, you want to leave these sit for about 5 to 10 minutes before cutting them so they actually have a chance to just set up a little bit. So these are our mini quiche. I hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. We do appreciate our viewers. And also, if you want to get more videos from us, hit that bell, that notification bell, and stay tuned to Mom's Cheers Home. We appreciate you watching. Thanks. Bye.